Well, hello, everybody. Hey, and welcome to the live stream. If you're new to us, make sure you like, subscribe, and share. We really need your help and your support. And just hang out for a while and to get exciting a little bit as everybody comes in here. But we hope you're doing well. And if you're new to us, and even if you're not, introduce yourself, say hello, and leave us a comment, all right? I got to clean my glasses. You ever wonder how weird it is that, when you need to clean your glasses, the problem is you got to take your glasses off to clean your glasses? You ever thought about that? It's not like I can see very well, right? Without the glasses to clean the glasses. I've always thought that was kind of ironic. All right. That's these alcohol wipey thingies. I use these. I don't know if you guys use these. There we go. That's a little better. Now I can see again. All right. Yum, yum. Got to drink that water. Woohoo! Drink that water. What's going on here? All right. I can get over here and do a little housekeeping stuff. Maybe you're looking. Now, let me get that out of the way, set you guys back a little bit. There we go. That's a little better. That's a little better. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining me. Man, we appreciate the thumbs ups. We need them, we need them, we need them. We do. How is everybody today? I'm busy in my office trying to get some paperwork done. Thank you all for being here. We got a whole bunch of naked ladies coming on the show in a little bit, so stick around for that. So working on a bunch of paperwork, looking at the cruise trip we're going to be taking, working on that. So I thought I'd have you guys maybe give me some input on what you think about cruising or trips or vacationing, because I need some help with that. There's going to be 4 of us going, so, today is, I don't know what today is, 6/19/2025. It is beautiful weather, but I'm inside, so, you know. Well, thank you all for being here. Who's all here? Let me know in the background. You guys give us a thumbs up, but tell us who you are. Say hi to each other. It's very important that you guys all acknowledge each other. And I will do my best to keep up with the chat and acknowledge all of you. Yan is here. He says it's Thursday where they're at. Outstanding. Can you tell me what part of the world? It's Thursday here. I'm sorry. There for a minute, I thought it was Wednesday. So, you know how us old people are, right? So it is Thursday here where we're at. You guys got to remember, I have a squishy brain. I am here, sir. Yes, hello all. Thank you for the thumbs up. You guys do the thumbs up thing. What do we got here? Lydia, good to see you. Hello to you. Welcome in. Thank you for the thumbs up. East of the Netherlands. That's cool. That's cool. It's one of the parts of the world that I would like to go see. Really, with the Netherlands. So, I got to type something in here. There we go. Lydia, where are you from? Finland, nice. Now, what time is it over in y'all's part of the world? So you guys are somewhat close, I would imagine. So thank you for the thumbs up. Appreciate that. And what time is it where you guys are? Middle of the night, or should be early morning if I remember right. Middle of morning. Yeah, and then you better be fast. The country is running backwards because of a lot of, oh hell. Oh, we're running crazy here too. You know that, right? The world's going crazy, but that's okay. Past midnight there? Okay, all right. 23:11, okay. Okay, nearly midnight. All right. It's 4 p.m., 4:17 where we are. So it's early afternoon. I usually come on later in the night, but I'm sitting here in my office working on stuff. Thought, well, maybe I ought to check in. I get a lot of people ask me questions. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. We can talk about anything. I give a lot of advice about different topics, and I don't hold back my opinions. I try to be very honest, and I encourage everybody to be themselves. And everybody's welcome to my live streams. I don't care where you're from, what you look like, or anything else. I don't care what religion you are, what color you, I don't care. Everybody's welcome in our world. So I gotta say thank you for coming. And oh my goodness, where am I at? Well, what do you think about nuclear facilities, energies, and atomic bomb building? Well, I'm not a big fan of nuclear energy. I understand it. I do. I have a little bit of knowledge in it. I do understand it. I can't say I'm a big fan of it because when it goes wrong, it goes wrong. I don't think anybody should have nuclear weapons. I think, and now I know reality is we cannot give up nuclear weapons because if there's five of us and five of us all have nuclear weapons, and then we all decide, hey, nuclear weapons are really bad, and so we should give them all up. And so we all agree to give them up. Do you really believe that all five of us gave them up? There's always going to be that doubt that my good friend Jan did not give him up. So I'm going to tell you I gave them up and I'm going to hide them. So I know we can never get rid of them, but I wish we could. So I don't think anybody else should get into the nuclear game. I don't. I know it's kind of a loaded thing where you got X amount of countries who have all the power because we have nuclear weapons versus those ones that want the power. So I'm not a fan of the energy side, and I'm definitely not a fan of bombs. So I know that hopefully we could find other ways. But I will tell you, if you're leading up to about Iran currently, I do think Iran is in a world of shit. I think before this is all over with and done with, Iran's not going to be very happy if they even exist by the time all of this is over with. So that's what I think about energy. I like energy. I have a background in environmental science. I like it. I think hydroelectric energy is fantastic. I think fossil fuels are a necessity. I do think there are a limited amount, but there's still a boatload of them that can be used. I like renewable energy, solar, wind. I do think there's times and places that those do not work. So from an energy standpoint, I am one of these people that I believe in using all types of energy, but I wish we wouldn't do the nuclear. But I get it. We have a nuclear power plant close where I'm at. But energy is important. It's very important. I don't know. I guess I'm more of, hey, let's use everything and use it all wisely and do it that way. So that's kind of where I'm at on my energy. So how about you guys? What do you guys think about nuclear energy? Do you think it's good? Do you think it's bad? What about the nuclear bomb? Should everybody have a nuclear bomb? Whoops, what's that? Yeah, I don't disagree with you, right? You know, you say I like nuclear energy also because there's not much failure in them. I agree. I agree with that statement. They don't have a lot of failures, but when they do fail, they fail. And a lot of the nuclear facilities we have in the world are aging. So, don't like that. And of course, no nukes because we want to make love, not war. I need to turn that down. Should be reactors, okay? Marcos, hello. How are you, buddy? Good to see you. Thank you for the thumbs up as you came in. How are you? What's going on in your world? We're doing pretty good. You know, today I'm just hanging out in the office doing some paperwork and working on thinking about we're going to take a cruise next year with our some other Filipino friends. So I've been working on that a little bit and looking at paying some bills because you know bills we got to pay, right? I mean, I got a bill from the termite people. I owe them a $163.16, and they don't even do anything. You got to pay them that much every year. In America, to have a policy, we have to have, as homeowners, when we go to sell our house in America, if you want to sell your house, you have to have what they call a termite policy. And it costs about $200. Or you can pay $163 every year, and they're supposed to come out and check your house every year. Nice meeting you too, man. I hope you guys all, everybody say hello to each other in the chat, if you would. That's really important. So that's kind of what we're doing. We've been doing a lot of stuff. I've lost a little bit of weight and I'm trying to get more off, so I'm trying to stay more active, which is always hard but good. And just, man, right now what I'm doing in the office, to be honest, is I'm working on a cruise, but I'm also making notes about all the things I want to and need to get done. You know, I got a bunch of things I need to sell that are stocking up here. And we get a lot of product review stuff as as a social media influencer. I get a lot of companies that want me to influence their products, and sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But we don't need the products, so I turn around and sell them. So I can't get a sponsor. I get a lot of emails and a lot of things, but I can't get a sponsor to like send me things I need, like a mobility scooter. Mine, I have to use one because my legs are really bad shape, right? And mobility scooters, what you see old people on, and I guess I'm one of them. So I need another one of those because mine's really bad, but I can't get a sponsor for that. But I can get it for all kinds of other crap. What do you say? Well, right now we're going to be this weekend. We're cleaning out my closet. I got a closet full of like, oh my God, some dehumidifiers, headphones. I don't know, all kinds of miscellaneous mini refrigerators, all kinds of little stuff like that. So it's not my business. It's just all of this stuff is piling up. So it's time to get rid of some of it. Nadia, the American base in Crete. So you're based in Crete? I can hear myself talking through one of my things here. Is that what you're trying to tell me? Hang on. I'm hearing a noise. Okay. There. All right. The American based in Crete. I'd like to go to Crete. We've looked at taking a trip to the Greek Isles and some other, that part of the world, but we're not quite ready for that. Oh, you're not? All right, what did you mean? You got to remember I'm slow. That's fine. And you guys all say hello to each other. Did you guys introduce each other? Say, Jan, Marco, say hello to Nadia. And Nadia, say hello to everybody. Does any of you have YouTube channels you want me to subscribe to? If you do, let me know. I have my desktop pulled up so I can go to your channel and check you out if you have one. So, it's like Nadia only has 2 subscribers, not really a channel. Very pretty lady. I'll give you a subscribe anyway, even though you don't have anything. How about Marcos? Do you have a YouTube channel? Yeah, Marcos has 9. He has a few little things. We'll subscribe to yours, all right? Let's see about our good friend Jan. Go to the channel. We'll subscribe to you even though there's nothing there. So you guys all got to support one another, support us. And I thank all of y'all for being here. Make sure you give us some love. There's some love. You see that love coming up? And give us some thumbs up. I know there's a bunch of you in the background. So don't be shy. Do you like my shirt today, by the way? Does anybody like the color of my shirt? Am I wearing a pretty shirt? I think it's a nice shirt. It's one of my favorites. It's a little thick, but it's still one of my favorites. Shirts, this, see? Also, my reactions seem to be long. They turn gray. Yep, you love the Hawaiian style. Yeah, it's kind of my trademark, my social media trademark. I'm the tropical shirt wearing guy. I have over 200 of them. I wish I could get a corporate sponsor for that. That would be good because I have a lot of tropical shirts and I wear them everywhere. And I'm known for my hats and tropical shirts. So love them, love them, love them, love them. We're even having a big tropical shirt party in my house, my backyard, in a couple of weeks. And it's everybody has to wear tropical clothes. We'll give out some prizes. We'll probably have about 50 people here. 200 of them. Yeah, I got about 200 of them. Yeah, 200 of them. So many of them are different sizes, you know, because I've lost a lot of weight. And so I have about 50 of them that I kind of cycle through that fit me, you know, but I have over 200 shirts. You wrote your message? Okay, let me get up there, Nadia. Nadia says, sorry, I will write something now. So Nadia's first thing was the American base in Crete. I was asking that. She said no. She said, sorry, I'll write something now. Jan, Nadia, I wrote a message a bit up. So or did I miss something, Nadia? Let me scroll all the way up. We thank you for being here, Nadia. Sir, I got a max of 10. That's all right. But you mostly wear 1 or 2, always the clothing that fill the... That's right, you do. You do. And I have a philosophy why I wear shirts like this. Now look, I'm a very honest and straightforward person. So I don't live anywhere near the beach. I wish I did. And I have a philosophy. There's a couple of philosophies in the world. All right, here's one that's real simple that we teach. I used to be a teacher, and we used to tell the college students, look, you don't dress, you dress for the job you want to have, not the job you have. So let's say this. If you're somebody that collects garbage, you dress one way. If you're somebody that is a business person, you dress a different way. So when you're in those environments, you dress for the job you want. If you're in lower management where you can dress very casual, but you want to be in upper management, you need to dress up and look the part as upper management. So that's a big philosophy that I teach and believe in. Now, when it comes to me in tropical shirts, I love tropical shirts because it reminds me of how much I enjoy fishing in saltwater, enjoying the beach and the weather and the ocean breezes. So I wear clothes that makes me feel like where I want to be. So this clothing, this type of stuff is where I want to be and I'm not there. So that's why I do that. But I wear it on the beach too. So that's just kind of interesting there. So I got to write something and I'll be right there. All right. I've always had my own style, which is very important, my friend. But at the other side, I never cared about what's hot or not. Okay. So, you mean hot like in thick and warm, or hot as in, man, you are smoking hot because you got a cool shirt on? That type of thing. Trendy. I uh, I don't really, I don't, and I've learned this. I don't dress to impress anybody. I dress to feel the way I want to feel. When I'm really cold during the winter, I dress really warm in big sweat clothes because I want to be warm. When the weather's warm outside, I want to be outside and I want to be on a beach and enjoying the tropical environment. Like it as the hype of the moment, right? Trending. Yep. Yeah, I don't do that either. I know, that's kind of what the clothing industry is banking on, that everybody will get excited and go, oh my goodness, look, you know, blue and tan tropical shirts are in. We better start making them and pushing them out to get everybody to do it. But I'm not a trendy person either. I've been wearing the same type of clothing for 20 years. Some of my shirts are 20 years old. Eli, the coolest YouTube channel. Hello, how are ya? Yeah, so sorry. Sometimes I need to search for the word since English ain't my. No, you're doing fine. It's all right. But I get it. I know what you mean. Eli, thank you for the thumbs up, by the way. If you guys haven't said hello to each other, please do. And Eli, have I subscribed to your channel? Eli, do you have a channel? Let me see what you're doing, young man. So Eli has 20 subscribers. Eli, I'm going to give you a subscriber. All right, I'm going to subscribe to your channel, young man. So that's all right. You don't got to be perfect in my world. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I almost forgot what I was doing. You guys got me distracted. Yeah, you're doing fine, man. Nate, I know for most people, yeah, perfect doesn't exist. Well, that's right. Well, you got that right. When it comes to perfect or perfection or anything like that, it's all in the eye of the beholder. I may look at this and go, wow, this is a perfect Gatorade bottle. Perfect. Love it, love it, love it. You may look at it and go, well, it's good, but it's not perfect. It's too small. The cap is ugly orange, So it's all in the eye of the beholder. Yeah, beauty's in the eye of the beholder, right? And yes, I've been told that I'm one of the most handsome men on the internet. I've been told that a lot. My wife doesn't like it because it's usually really pretty girls that are flirting with me. My wife doesn't like that. So all of you pretty girls, you got to keep your flirting to a minimum. But I've been told that myself, so I get it. But beauty is in the eye of the beholder without question, and that's okay. You know, it's kind of like, um, I got to switch back. I'm on my desktop and my phone, so I'm going back and forth as I look at stuff. So we, like, you know, it's like, look, we decided, we've been on cruises before. We're going to go on another cruise. And the normal ships that we go on that belong to Carnival are kind of, you know, very average. And so I found one that is more Italian looking, has different colors and layouts. And so we're going to book one of those because sometimes you get bored looking at the same old thing over and over and over, right? Unless, of course, it's your wife. So we're looking at doing something like that. But let me see here. Doing good. Let me do this. Well, Jan, we appreciate you. Thank you for the thumbs up and subscribing to the channel. If you hadn't already done that, I appreciate that. We appreciate everybody's help in our social media conquest. Our goal is to be bigger than Mr. Beast, so we need your help. Yep, you call it a subbing, subscribing. So we appreciate that. And when you do that, the best thing to do to really help us is to hit the alert bell so you get notified. That helps us because YouTube goes, oh, wow, that's really good. The other big component of subscribing to somebody's channel is going somewhere in there and watching a video and making a comment on a video. Then YouTube goes, okay, we know that this person is a real human being that is subscribing to that guy's channel. So that's partly how you can help anybody and everybody. Anybody and everybody that you love. If you want to help. Best way to do it. Checking it out. All right, sir. We'll meet you another day. Bye-bye. All right, buddy. We appreciate you. Enjoy your time in your home country, the Netherlands. You know, I mean, nothing wrong with that. Uh-oh. Something's going on in the news about the Iran strike. Uh-oh. I got to put my earpiece in. It looks like, I think we just bombed Iran again. Let me put my earpiece in and hear the news. See what I hear. Well, Nadia, yeah, Nadia, I did. Did you leave a different one? I read your message earlier that you were going to be typing one. Do you read my message? Yes, I love your messages. I try to read everybody's. I hope I didn't miss yours. The last one that you wrote was right here. Let's see if I can scroll down so you can see it. I wrote my message, if you go a bit up. Right, that's the last thing you wrote. So, and then if you go further up, sorry, I will write a message. And then before that was no, before that was the American based in Crete. Those are all the messages that you wrote. All right? So, yes, we have read your messages. I've read them out loud a couple of times now, a couple of times. I'm trying to tell you something, but I don't know what happens. I'm sending them. Okay. Well, you just typed that, so try it again. You're doing good. Okay, nothing's happened, I guess. All right. So nothing too new in the news. I am. We're looking. No, we can't go on that cruise. So we're looking at cruises to go on. There's going to be four of us. We're trying to get the best deal and look at one of the coolest places to go. So that's an 11-day. I think 11 days too long for us. We're going to have to pick like a. Why is it 11 days? I need to change the dates. All right, no, that's right. We're going to try to go next year, mid-spring. I'm still logged in, all right? So, I'm confused. Let me start all over. My search engine's a little goofy. Let me start all over. Oh, that's what it was. All right, I saw my mistake. Because you know sometimes I make mistakes, right? Craig, good morning, buddy. How are you? Everybody say hello to Craig. Craig, what's going on, man? We're thinking about coming to Australia in the year 2027. Did you know that? We're going to come stay at your house, by the way. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. It's going to be four of us. Yeah. Going to come stay at your house, man. Let me get this. 6, 7, 8. Okay. Okay, you like that? You okay with that, man? We're going to come to your house and hang out. We are thinking about, I'm working on a cruise. We're going to go on a cruise next year. We're working on it. I got to get a babysitter for my dog yet still. But we're going to go next mid-spring, early spring, on a cruise. So I'm working on that, Craig. But we got talking to the couple that's going to go with us. You know, they're Filipino, both of them. And this is in the year 27. So they're going with us in 26 on a cruise. Nadia says, I am from Crete. Nice. I would like to go visit Crete. So if the world exists in 27, you got that right. Oh, you guys are, yeah, I understand. So Nadia is saying they're very scared in Crete because of everything that's going on with Iran and Israel, I'm sure, right? And the Gaza Strip. Because I know I saw some people were evacuated to Crete from Israel, some students on a cruise ship, actually. So I saw some of that today. But I will tell you, oh, you're scared because because you guys having an American base in Crete. I like how you said that. And our president blackmailed the psycho guy. Which one? And I'm curious because I don't know. Which one is this? Is the psycho guy? Who's the psycho guy? I don't know which one that is. You know, is that the Iranian guy or the Israeli guy or the Korean guy, the North Korean, the Russian, the hell? There's too many of them to think of. Just the underground portal. Yes. Just use the underground. Yeah. There's a lot of, yeah. I remember watching a documentary about that, Craig. And he might get us here because of the Americans. Well, here's the very, very good, very, very good thing, my friend. America's going to protect you. understand this. And as an American and somebody who understands government, relations, and politics, yeah, pretty good. If Israel, Greece, anybody is attacked by Hezbollah or any of the Iranian subgroups, anybody, America will defend you. There's nothing that we can do to more than Leslie to prevent any country from being attacked by anybody else. There's just nothing we can do. If somebody wants to attack you, they will attack you, whether we're there or not. It could be a different group. But I will tell you, your best chance of surviving any kind of attack, which you won't be attacked, is having Americans there, because we will defend you with our lives. Both of them, and the guy Iran and the guy in Israel, yes. So, yeah, you guys have those tunnels in Crete, right? So, but just understand that. I understand being worried. I do. I get it. I think it's all going to blow over in a couple of days. You give this the weekend until Monday, it's going to blow over. It's going to blow over. We are both in NATO, but we're a poor country. We can get dogs to safe houses. Well, I understand that, and I don't mean to be rude, okay? But if I was the dude from Iran, the dude from Israel or North Korea, the American military presence in Crete is not large enough for me to give a crap about. You know what I mean? I don't mean to be mean about your island, but no country is really going to care about you. I mean, I hate to be mean. You're not important enough, even with the very small American base there, for anybody to really care. That's what I think. Valentina, hello. Thank you for the thumbs up. Good to see ya. Yes, hello to you. Everybody say hello. Craig says, will escalate, I think. I don't think, well, it's going to escalate. I promise you, in the next few days, it's going to escalate. And then it's going to stop. Because what's going to happen, in my opinion, and we all kind of feel that way here in America, everybody say hello to Valentina, please, for me. Everybody say hello to them. Do you have a YouTube channel? If you have a YouTube channel, drop your link or let me know so we can help promote you. Because we like to do that. Here's what I think is going to happen. We will, before it's over with, either do the bombing, the bunker busters, ourselves, because we're getting ready to do that, or we'll just let Israel do it. One way or the other, Iran's getting ready to get a whole lot more shit dumped on them. What's going on behind the scenes, if you guys don't know, is a lot of people are trying to overthrow the Iranian government and reinstall the heir to the throne, so to speak, the crown princes of what I think they call them. And they want to start shifting away from Islam. They don't want to be this radical state. You got members of the Iranian government who's controlling the country, who's Islamic extremists. Now, but I don't necessarily believe everybody in that country feels the same way about being an extremist. And I believe there's a movement behind the scenes to change government forms in Iran. And I think Israel and the United States may be behind that and will support that transition. I do think there's going to be a whole lot more bombing over the weekend, and then Iran will give up because they're going to have to. Valentina, I will subscribe to you. I'm doing it right now. Now you have 2 subscribers. What do you think about that, Craig? You think I'm anywhere close to logic? The problem with wars like this, to be honest, from my opinion, is nobody ever finishes the job. And I'm not trying to be a hard ass, but if you're going to attack, if you're going to go to war, I think you ought to go all out. Yeah, it's a small country. It's a very tough little country, but it's a very small one. So, amazing, right? I believe it's like, and look, I don't know the Palestinians. I don't know the Israelis very much at all, either side. I don't care. I don't know them. I don't have a dog in the fight. What I will say is this, in my own opinion, I would blow Iran off the planet. I'm one of these people that I believe if you're going to do something, you better do it. And at this point in time, instead of pussyfooting around and just delaying the nuclear program in Iran for another 10 years, setting it back, so to speak, I personally would destroy the country. I would destroy it, the whole entire thing. Same thing with the Palestinians who attacked the Israelis. Now, if Iran can beat Israel, then okay. If Iran can destroy Israel, they should do that. Same way. I just believe that. Never, Deacon's back. Deacon, haven't seen you around, buddy. How are you? How's things going? Thank you for the thumbs up, by the way. That is correct. Woohoo! Somebody likes it. Opinion Day 007. It's so sad to hear someone say that he would kill Tim Minjville. I'd kill them all. I don't care. If you're going to attack me, I'm going to destroy you. I'm going to make sure that you can never do it again. If I got a love, it's like the Gaza, and I'm going to use the Gaza Strip for an example. And remember, I don't have a dog in this fight. I don't. I don't have an opinion about who's right or wrong. But I, personally, I would bulldoze the Gaza Strip. I would flatten it. I would make it to where nobody could live on it. A big old pile of rubbish. Everybody would have to evacuate. And there'd be nobody living there ever again. You attack me, I will destroy you. That's my logic when it comes to war. Craig says, cannot take out 83 million, destroying them is not the answer. It may not be the answer, but it definitely would send a message and remedy the problem, right? So, but I think what happens, Craig, and I think all of you guys know this, is countries pull back. You know, it's kind of like they throw a few jabs and then they stop and they wait and more drama and then they throw a couple jabs again, right? Pa, pa, pa. And then they all sit back and yell at each other and call each other names, you know, and they say, well, we're going to do this to you and we're going to do that to you. And so years go by where they're bickering back and forth and they're challenging each other and they're calling each other names. And then they punch each other once or twice and they come running back over here. It's idiotic, I think, to carry on like that. That's no way to live. It's no way to be. It's just not. Now, I don't, and in my scenario, I didn't say this, but in my scenario would be, I would say this, if I, just hypothetically, if I was Israel, did the Gaza Strip, I would tell everybody, you got 10 days to get out. We're taking it over. We're going to bulldoze it into the ocean. You got 10 days to leave. I would tell the Iranians the same thing, or I would tell Israel the same thing. The 10 million people in Israel, you need to pack your luggage and you need to leave. Because we in 10 days are going to flatten your country into rubble. And then I would dump everything on it to completely destroy it. Because then it will never happen again. The craziness, you know, and maybe I'm extreme on this for a reason. I'm trying to make a point about how silly it is for these countries to keep doing this, to keep throwing out a couple jabs, then saying bad things. So I'm trying to give you a very extreme example of the stupidness that these countries do by playing patty cake with each other and acting like they're a bunch of 8-year-old kids on a playground going, your mama's uglier than my mama. My daddy can beat your daddy up. It's like, come on. Where do they go? I don't care. I mean, it's not my point. In my scenario, Craig, I don't know where they go. I don't have that figured out because I would really never do this. But in my scenario, I don't have that worked out. I don't know. Because I'm just trying to make an extreme point about how stupid all of this really is. When we could all choose to live in peace, but we don't. So fine, if we're not going to live in peace, let's just kill each other and get it over with. If not, it's kind of like mosquitoes. So where would they go? I don't know. Maybe they could go to Australia and hang out with you guys. I don't know. I mean, is there any countries that need people to come there? Maybe we can evacuate them to Mexico. I don't know, Honduras or, Ethiopia. I don't know. I've never, thought that far ahead of my total annihilation scenario, Craig. So, but it's just crazy that year after year, because we've been doing this for forever. We've been having the same stupid talk and issue forever now. Deacon says, right, I agree, straight to the point, just ditch past them and it's done. Well, yeah, in my scenario, absolutely. It's kind of like, if you got a bully or if you're in your home, and this is kind of where I make this example, but it's not quite the same. In America, if somebody kicks in your door, you got the right to shoot and kill them. Now, look, I've had friends in law enforcement told me forever, ever, and we have guns, right? We protect ourselves. But the old saying is, I would rather be judged by 12, meaning a jury, than carried by 6. So when that dude is kicking in my door, I'm going to kill him, and he's not going to get the chance to kill me, right? That's kind of how that works. So I'd rather go to court versus being carried, having him kill me. So that's kind of the thing about this. It's stupid that we keep having these same fights over and 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 over again. I don't understand it. Well, I understand it. It's just, stop. Why can't all the different religions, listen to their own beliefs? This is one thing that blows my mind. And all religions, whether you believe in them or not, all religions runs around saying, my God is the God of love and the God of peace and the God of kindness. Well, then why in the hell are you not showing that? Why in the hell are you not living what you preach? And they're not. Nobody is. None of them is. They're all want to, no, my way's the right way and it's the only way. And it just, stop. Just stop. I don't know. You guys, and if you guys don't like what I say, that's okay. That's all part of the great thing about social media. You either do what you say you're going to do, or you don't. And it's one of the biggest things about religions that drives me crazy. They're so hypocritical. All religions. It's all a bunch of garbage. Yes, the old castle doctrine rule. You like it? Deacon likes it. But it just, I don't understand it. I don't. I really. Why do countries, people, individuals, humans, always got to think we're better than the other ones? Why? Why can't we just let other people be and do what they do? Now, I know the nuclear weapon thing is a big issue because since we all can't get along and we all can't say, okay, I accept you for who you are, because that's what we do on my channel. Whether you like me or not, I don't care too much. I appreciate all the support, but look, I don't care where you're from, what you believe, what you don't believe, what color you are, what sex you are. Now, I say what I say and I believe what I say, and everybody's welcomed here. We try to get along with the world on this channel because I think it's important to understand what other people think and believe. I think it's fascinating to know what other people think and believe. And I think everybody should have the human right to think and believe what they want. And they should be allowed to do it in peace. And right now, with the nuclear weapon situation, that's in jeopardy, I guess, is the big argument. Well, we know that if they get the nuclear weapons, they're going to use it. They're not going to allow other countries to live in peace. So that's where I'm at, you know. I don't know. Same issue as Nadia David. Comments showing on a laptop, but not on the TV. That's interesting. That it's not showing up on your smart TV, but it's showing up on the internet. I mean, I'm also reading my chat on my desktop, Craig, because, you know, it's bigger. And I guess I'm not getting certain comments on my desktop then. And I'm not missing anything in the chat, Craig. I've been reading every comment that comes in, and I'm reading them directly, Craig. No. Can you see the one about 9 mil? I cannot, no. The last one I got from you is the same issues as Nadia. Then the one before that is where do they go? And then the one before that is cannot take out 83 million, destroying them is not the answer. So one about 9 million I didn't get. No, weird. You think we're being censored, Craig? You think we're being watched? Is the government watching us? Is it YouTube? You know, what's going on, Craig? That's interesting though, right? And we're not on StreamYard, so I don't have private chat or anything. All right, Craig, try that again. That is kind of weird, isn't it? You think it's because we're talking about bad things? And YouTube Universe knows it, and so they're punishing your blocking comments? That's interesting. Well, while we try to figure that out, Craig, what I was telling you, I got on a rant, is we may come to Australia in 2027 if 2027 is still, if there's still a planet to go anywhere on. So we're going to go on a cruise in the spring of 26. We need to go back to the Philippines in 27 for some business. Now, you know, from America, when we go to the Philippines, we usually stay a month because the air flight is so damn long, it's such a trouble. Now, what I was thinking the other day was, when I was working on this cruise ship stuff for the spring, is, well, what are we going to do for a month in the Philippines that we haven't already done, right? Now, we want to visit some friends and hang out and visit a little bit of family, right? We got to take care of business. So we're looking at about maybe 10 days to 14 days. And so I was thinking the other day, well, then what we're going to do is, and my friends that are going on this cruise is a Filipino couple. They're dual citizens. They need to go back in 27 too, just to visit because their parents are getting really old. So I told them the other day, I said, why don't we do this? Why don't we all go to the Philippines at the same time? You know, you go your way, we go your way. We'll stay about 10 or 14 days. And then we'll catch a cruise. We'll fly over to maybe Australia and take an Australian cruise and then catch a flight back to the United States. And or we'll go over to Asia, like Japan, Hong Kong, Singapore, and do a cruise in that part of the world and then fly back to the United States. Repeated the exact same comment and the same thing. Interesting or scary? Scary. Scary. We're being surveillanced. I mean, is there a way that you could mix up the words or just type each word once if it's not real long and let's see what it goes. I'm interested in now what you said. Or message me on Facebook what you said because now I want to know what they're censoring. Because now I believe they're censoring us, Craig. Now I think they're watching us. That's scary. What are we on? We're on YouTube. I don't know who owns YouTube, but that is scary. The CIA is going to come knocking on my door and say, young man, you need to, well, they're probably going to say old man. Old man, you need to quit talking about politics on the internet. And how dare you acknowledge our failures as a world? 9 billion. How dare you, point out our flaws? Create the situation. Yeah. I agree with that so far. Yep. Yes, through manipulation. Yes. Okay. You're doing good. Oh my God, YouTube's spying on us. Is it the NIS or CIA or Google, Elon? Who's spying on us? Through manipulation, so let them destroy each other. Yeah. Well, that's kind of what I mean. I've kind of got tired of the Russia-Ukraine thing. So I'm at this point, and I don't like either country, to be honest. Let them fight it out. Let the winner take the spoils. If Russia can take over Ukraine, well, just let them. Who cares? Crystal Lynn's in the house. Hello, everybody. Hi, Crystal Lynn. Thank you for coming. Everybody say hello to Crystal. Crystal, thank you for the thumbs up. Then take over, much easier. I agree. Winner, it's like they were saying earlier, the castle thing. It's kind of like the winner gets the spoils, right? I mean, look, if I'm a teenager and I get in a fist fight with another dude over a girl and I win the fist fight, don't I get to keep the girl? That is great, Craig. Craig, that is crazy. That's crazy, Craig. I'm telling you, man. Crazy. Crystal says, I was watching We Were Children. I am sure who cares hold a lot of truth today. Yes, I was watching We Were Children. Is that a movie or a TV show? I'm not familiar with that one. We Were Children. I don't know that one. I know We Were Soldiers. Crystal, is that a book? Obviously not. You're watching it. TV show or something. But maybe it's on your side, Craig. Maybe I don't know what you guys in Australia call your secret people, but maybe it's your secret people down under versus my crazy secret people up north. We're being spied on. Ooh, that's proof, Craig. I'm telling you. And you can, look, we have verifiable proof now, Craig, that we are being spied on YouTube. We have proof of it, my friend. Yeah, somebody knocking at the door. Knock, knock, knock. It's a documentary about the lives of two children who grew up in a residential school who were emotionally, sexually, and even physically abused. I think that happened a lot. I think it's sad. I think there are some good residential schools, but one bad one spoils the bunch, so to speak. I think, you get one bad one and they're all going to get a bad reputation. I do think, I don't like humans. I'm waiting for the knock, knock, knock on the door. I think humans are horrible. So, We have way too many humans that are predators. We have way too many men and women who like to prey upon people. We have too many supreme leaders who think God has ordained them to destroy the world because they don't believe the way I believe. We have too much of that. Oh, there's the Pro Fisher. How are you, buddy? Thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you for coming in. Remember, if you got a YouTube channel, you can drop your link. So if you want to drop something, you can. You don't got to ask permission. So I am sure there were good kinship care homes and foster homes as well, but I agree. Yeah, of course. I'm sure there is. I'm sure there is. I don't know, to be honest. Now, if you guys haven't subscribed to the Pro Fisher, you might want to do that. Pro Fisher, you're not blue. So I think if you don't, I know you're a young person, but I'm going to turn you blue so that the other people can go and subscribe to your channel, okay? All right, so you should be blue now, and I'm going to subscribe to you. He only has 109 subscribers, 28 fishing videos, doggy videos. So you guys go help him out a little bit. Well, the shelters, the Catholic Church, that gold Supreme bait caster, I got backlash so hard, and take it out you had to draw your line out and get your line all pulled out. We've been there, done that. That means you didn't have your drag adjusted right. You know, you got to remember that little knob on the side, your tension knob. How you do that, remember, is that this is your rod and your reel. You should be able to push this and your weight. Now you got to do it each and every time because your bait changes. The weight, when you push it, it should go down, whoop, but not like whoop, and not real slow. So you got to get that balance. That way when you cast, you don't have a backlash. Thank you, Crystal. I have checked out the channel. Great. Pro Fisher. Yes, thank you for doing that. No mention the religions, one's feeding them to yes. Well, yeah. You know, yeah. And the only one that had the balls to apologize was Stephen Harper back in his June 11, 2000 speech. Well, did he really have the balls to apologize? Or was he just doing damage control? I think, hey, Gus, good to see you, buddy. Dirt and birds' nests, they're not, right? They're worse. Crystal, I don't think most people that you see on TV apologizing are truly apologizing. They're doing damage control. Yeah, we're actually going to Texas in a couple of weeks. We got a big Filipino party to go to this weekend. I'm going to do a live stream out by the lake. So you guys watch for that on Saturday afternoon. And but the following weekend, we're going to Dallas, Texas, right? So we're going to go to the Daiso store with the Japanese store. We're going to eat at Jollibee. We're going to go to my brother's. We're going to go see horses. My brother's daughter is a professional horse trainer. Then we're getting up. We've rented a boat on the lake where he lives, and from 9 to 12, I think. And we're going to go fishing. So I got to get my bait caster in order because I haven't bass fished in a while. So I perch fish and catfish. So I got to get my fishing gear and Lorelei's fishing gear ready to go to Dallas, Texas. And then we're coming home. Crystal says, and only to one culture, let's start apologizing to Norwegians and other cultures that are minorities. Okay. I was fishing today and the weirdest but coolest thing happened. What was it? Tell us. Don't forget the sunscreen and the bug spray because you never know, right? You know, I'm sweet looking and those mosquitoes like me. The mosquitoes like me. So yeah, we'll take the sunscreen. We're going on a big pontoon boat. There's going to be 6 of us, I think. So I don't know how much real fishing we'll get in, but we'll definitely get to go out on the lake. But it'll be a good time because, I haven't got to hang out with my brother in quite a while. And the hooks, that's right. The hooks, the line, the sinkers. I have no clue. I need to call him and ask him, what type of fishing are you planning? Are you planning just to buy 10,000 minnows and throw them out? Or are we going fishing? So we'll have to see. I caught a bass, and then a snapping turtle ate the bass, and I hooked them both, but the worst thing is, it was a really nice bass that the snapper got. Oh man, I've done that in saltwater. I've caught a fish, and I've had a shark come up and eat my fish in half. I've had that done. Gus says mosquitoes call me Big Papa Candy. Yes, I hate the mosquitoes. Did you guys see the new sign I got in my backyard? Did you guys watch my short the other day? If you haven't, go and watch my short. I got a short on the new sign I made for Lorelai, and I didn't make it, sorry. I bought for Lorelai and I for our back patio, because we hang out in the backyard a lot, even late at night when friends come over, and we wind up staying way too late. So I got a really cool sign in the backyard if you guys haven't seen it. You like that, Gus? Wasn't that pretty cool? So, and if you see me looking, I'm reading the bigger chat over here. I'm almost blind. Nah. So that's what I'm doing. I'm reading over here and trying to come back, just so you know. Pretty cool, right? So what I did, because, since we're going to Dallas, and you guys can't tell anybody this, all right? So you got to keep this a secret. So we're going to Dallas, Texas, and my wife says we got to bring presents. And but my brother doesn't need anything or want anything. So I'm going to find him a Japanese gadget at the Daiso store in Dallas and give it to him. But his daughter is a professional horse trainer. This is what she does. She's a barrel racer, a very high-ranking money girl, and she trains horses. Well, I ordered her, I didn't make it. I ordered her a sign like that has a cutout of a horse with her favorite personal horse's name in it. And I'm going to give that to them as a gift. I know how you feel. Yes, mosquitoes are needed more than you think. No, I agree with you. I agree. Yeah, I agree. Mosquitoes are very important in the ecosystem, without question, Michael. 1,000%. They are very much needed in the ecosystem. Doesn't mean we gotta like them, just like spiders. And I don't like bugs. I'm not a bug person. I'm not an entomologist, never have been, never wanted to be. I don't get into bugs. Michael's nice. What do you mean? He's doing fine. He's nice. There's nothing wrong with what he said. Oh, he's trying to be a smart butt with the FU for that? Don't worry about that. Who cares? But he has a point. Mosquitoes are very important in the ecosystem. Now, if he doesn't like what I say, he knows what he can do. But it's a perfectly legit comment. We'll bug you a lot. They will bug you a lot. All bugs. I hate bugs. Michael, they can be nice. Yes, Craig. Borderline. 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 Yeah, it's borderline. I don't take anything personal, Craig. My rules on this channel is, you can call me names. Just don't call each other names. Don't make fun of each other. Don't be racist. Don't be nasty, sexist. Those type of things. But I'm pretty lenient. But if you become too much of a disturbance, then of course, Craig and Gus have the power and the blue to, and I do too, to delete them. So it's borderline, because he wouldn't be man enough to say that in front of you. It's the keyboard warrior thing. So I'm excited. We're going to Dallas. We're going to eat at Jollibee. My wife's Filipino, as you guys know. So while we're there, we're going to go to this Daiso, which is a Japanese Korean store that sells, sells food, sells appliances and gadgets. Craig says, yep, he's got 0 subs, no content. Let's look at him. Michael probably is just, where did you go? Up. Yeah, he doesn't really have a channel. He's just a visitor to people's channel. Maybe that's why he thinks it's appropriate to say F off to people because he doesn't do a channel. So he knows that, he has nothing to lose except for being put in timeout. I was in someone's stream. The host was making fun of all the viewers, so everyone left, and he got banned from YouTube. Well, look, here's what I'll say about that. More power to him, and I don't think he should have been banned from YouTube unless he was doing hate crime stuff. Because I believe in free speech. Now, I understand that in the United States, in America, YouTube is a business. It's not out in public. A lot of people think YouTube is public domain. It's not. It's a private held company. That means they get to decide who's on their company and who's not. But I believe wholeheartedly in free speech. And if he's stupid enough to tear down people that are watching him, well, okay, Jack. Yeah, it's probably Jack. That's right. Oh, yeah, it's probably Jack. Is Jack even still alive, Craig? We banned Jack, so we don't get anything around Jack because we banned him. I got tired of him trying to message me and all kinds of other crap, so we just completely banned him. But yeah, maybe Michael is Jack. Maybe that's who that is. I know he has a lot of aliases, but he's too big. But Jack's a real coward, so he was calling them like the N-word and just kept swearing. Well, there you go. I mean, was he drunk? Well, maybe there's a lot of drunks on the internet. There's a lot of drunks on YouTube, which I think is funny. I agree. Free speech, but no hate speech. And that's kind of my policy. I got a leeway there. You can have your own opinions and philosophies and beliefs, but we're not going to tolerate hate speech or sexual abuse speech, however you want to, I don't know how you say that, but we're not going to tolerate any of that. And YouTube shouldn't either, and Facebook shouldn't either. But people have to understand that YouTube and Facebook are businesses. It's not public domain. Hopefully he wasn't drunk because he was only 15. Pro Fisher says, fully agree, Gus. Yes. Well, maybe he's just dumb. There's a beautiful thing that if you guys haven't seen, I want to encourage you to do it. If you haven't seen what Arnold Schwarzenegger said on The View, it's all over the internet. He was on The View a few days ago, and what they wanted him to do was criticize the United States government's immigration policies. So one of the ladies, and I don't know them because I don't watch them, I find them irritating, asked him, said, as an immigrant, how do you feel about the deportations or whatever? And he went into this little spill, and I think he had one of the best little spills that I've ever heard anybody ever talk about. So I encourage you to go watch what Arnold Schwarzenegger says. And what he was kind of saying was do stupid things, get stupid prizes, talking about immigration. So when immigrants do things that are stupid, well, they should get kicked out. And it's kind of like the same thing on YouTube. If you're not smart enough to build an audience and you want to attack everybody, well, then you're not going to be very successful. So, but I would encourage you guys to go watch that Arnold Schwarzenegger. What he said on The View, it's all over Facebook and YouTube. And I know he's a U.S. citizen now. So it makes you, it gives you a logical, smart, articulate side of immigration that I know these ladies on The View were not expecting him to say because that's not what they believe. And they even try to stop him by grabbing his arm and trying to get him to stop. And he kept his speech and went all the way through it. So it's pretty impressive. Is that a portrait behind me? No. I'll show you. It's a banner that has our channel on it. See it? And behind me is that. That's Lorelei and I. She hates that picture because she hates how her hair is. But, and you know, what are you going to do? So we're like in Aruba, I think, in that picture. I think we're in Aruba. I'm not for sure where we are. And then up there is one of my fishing rods and cuckoo clock. And this is just a bunch of crap and a plant. There's a plant back there somewhere. And a hat. So, but if you guys get a chance, I'd go watch the Arnold Schwarzenegger thing. It was very, 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 very cool, you know. So go watch that. I'm making some notes. I'm taking notes. Taking notes. All right, Pro Fisher, I have to go, but it was nice talking to y'all. See you another time. All right, my friend, be careful. Enjoy your day. All right, so I'm going to kind of talk out loud. Gus says, I have a cuckoo clock similar. Yeah, really? I love cuckoo clocks. This one's a used one, and it's dirty. You know what I mean? And I know how to clean them. I've watched a couple of videos. It just needs to be cleaned inside really well. But I just never got around to taking it apart and doing it. So I don't use it. But I love cuckoo clocks, and I would like to have, I don't care. If you have extra cuckoo clocks out there, or you would like for me to be a social media influencer on cuckoo clocks, hey, I'm open. I can do it. So, but yeah, I like cuckoo clocks too, my friend. I do. I like interesting clocks. I like clocks. I like old clocks. There was a jewelry store where I had Lorelei, my wife's engagement ring made 12 years ago, that had a whole bunch of antique clocks. Ah, you lived in Germany, so you understand. Yeah, I dig them. I mean, I really like cuckoo clocks. I like even the big, tall, grandfather style cuckoo clocks. I'm not a big fan of the modern cuckoo clock. I really like the ones that have the animation with the workers cutting wood and going around. And I really like cuckoo clocks. I really do. I really do. I don't know. Maybe I'm weird, right? So we're going to go on a cruise next year, guys, boys and girls. So I want you guys to help me kind of figure out, I already kind of know what I'm going to do. But there's 4 of us going on a cruise. I'm trying to figure out, to be honest, look, I'm cheap. I'm a cheapskate. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to work the numbers because we are gold members on Carnival. We're also shareholders. Something going on, I just watched, subscribe, change, what? Craig says, something going on. I just watched, subscribe, and change to subscribe. That's kind of weird. Craig, are you under attack? Are you guys okay in Australia? Do we need to send the military to come and check you guys out? What's going on in Australia, man? They're spying on you. Maybe who controls the internet in Australia? Is Elon Musk mad about something with Australia and he's going to bug you guys? Strange, very strange. Australia, man. Wow. Yeah, I've always wanted a real grandfather's clock, if you know what I mean. Not some of the remakes, if that makes sense. And I know you know what I'm talking about. So I've always wanted one, but they're just out of the price range. And since we haven't decided where we're going to live forever, I don't want to have to try to move it. Maybe my last upload caused a ripple. Your last upload? Did I miss your last upload? What did you upload last, Craig? Let me go to your channel. Everybody go to Craig's channel and see what Craig did. Craig, what did you do? I'm still subscribed to you. You still got 517 subscribers. Let me see if you're last. Why I married a Filipina 6 days ago? Was that your last one? Why I married a Filipina? It's a damn good question, Craig. Is that your latest? No, a burger bar fairy tale 1 day ago? Oh, I like that mechanical looking fish. Steampunk catfish. I love steampunk, Craig. Steampunk is cool. Yesterday. So, all right, is it a video or a short? Let me look. So videos, you got a burger bar fairy tale 1 day ago. Let me put my earpiece in so I don't get in trouble. Thumbs up. That's me. That sounds like me. Fat, old, just roll out of bed, don't know how to cook a booger. I'm making burgers in a couple weeks. Uh-oh, it's getting interesting. Woohoo, ugly skinny wife. Ooh, that chick ain't ugly. Ah, there you go, smart guy. He set up the woman. Citizenship. Oh. There you go, expat. I knew it. I knew it. Sick mama, got to go to the hospital. Gambling addiction. Woo! Classic Filipina. Boy, Craig, you're in trouble. Did your wife beat you? Did your wife see this? Oh, Craig, I think my wife's going to beat me for you. Man, Craig. Craig. Woohoo, get that divorce. She wants everything. Yeah, I agree. Greed, corruption, stupidity, lack of accountability. Why we hate the Philippines. Holy crap, Craig. You're in trouble, Craig. Yes, write the book. Craig. Man, you still in trouble. You got to be in trouble on that one, Craig. So, I think there's a lot of valid points in that, Craig, and I've said them on different points too over the years. So, yeah, maybe say, hey, look, I just saw my live stream is acting up a little bit since I on my computer where I played your video. So now they're coming after me, Craig. I'm digitizing a little bit, or whatever you call that. How to focus a little bit. Man, Craig, you even got me in trouble. Got me in trouble, Craig. There we go. All right, now I'm back looking good. All right. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with you there, man. They're spying on you in Australia. All right. Let me get back over here looking at cruise ships. So we're going to go on a cruise next spring. 4 of us. I'm greedy. Like I said, we are VIP members. We're gold members. Doesn't really get you a whole lot, but gets you a tiny bit. We are stockholder members. If you own or hold over 100 shares of Carnival stock, you get a discount depending on the length of the cruise. Like 3 to 5 days, I think you get $50 off. 7 days, you get $100 off. Stuff like that, you know what I mean? So that's an extra $100. We're looking at taking a cruise for about 7 or 8 days. So now, our friends that are going to go with us, they have never been on a cruise, so they don't care where we go. But Lorelai and I have been all over Mexico and the Western Caribbean. So we're going to try to go to the Eastern Caribbean on this trip. Now, one thing I will say is, I think the Carnival cruise ships, it's kind of like Walmart. Well, maybe you don't have Walmart in Australia. But they're kind of generic. They're all the same. Now, I've been very disappointed because in the last couple of years, Carnival Cruise Line seems to become a little bit trashy. And I can't get into too much detail on that, or I will trying to find the word. It's a very delicate subject about who's causing the problems on Carnival. So I can't get into who's at fault. But it's common, it's all over the internet. So there's a lot of commotion on the Carnival cruise lines. So much so that they had to put out how to behave on a cruise ship. You know, what they really should do was control your drinking and don't beat people up. So they put out a list about how to behave on a cruise ship. So now we've been on Carnival a lot, or not a lot, 4 times I think. So all of them, they kind of look the same. They're a little boring, I think, and they're not cool looking, but they're easy to get around. Now, Lorelai and I are kind of bored. Well, she doesn't care, but me, it's really me. So what we have found, I've discovered that Carnival has moved over, and I've got it saved, and maybe I can show you if you guys want to, if you care, that the Carnival has what they call a fun Italian style. So they have brought over a couple of cruise ships. This one is called the Carnival Venezia. I think I pronounced that right. So it has an Italian theme to it. So it's supposed to look like Italy. And let's talk about this one. Because, I haven't decided which one we're going to go on. So I'd love to have input. So this is a 7-day cruise. We leave from Orlando or Port Canaveral. Now, we've been there. We've lived there. We love it. We love it. It's too expensive to live, I think, but we like it. But you got to fly into Orlando, and then to get to the cruise port is an additional hour. Now, and we know exactly where the cruise port is. But what we're going to do is we're going to go to we leave Orlando, we go to Grand Turk, San Juan, Puerto Rico, St. Thomas, and then we come back to Port Canaveral. Now, it's $629 before tax, before tax, and tips. So, not bad, but not great. 7 days, so that's a little bit under $100 a day, but you add in all the other things, it's gonna run you about $120 a day before you do excursions and or buy drinks. Not bad. Not bad. Now, what I don't like about these, but these are all this away. It says we're leaving out of Port Canaveral versus Miami, okay? It departs at 3:30 p.m. in Orlando. You got a fun day at sea, then you hit Grand Turk, San Juan, St. Thomas, and then you have 2 days at sea. And if you ever cruise, like on one of these loop, closed loop cruises, 2 days is enough. 2 days on a cruise ship when you're not going across the ocean is enough. So we either got to get the 2 days at the end or the 2 days on the water in the beginning. So you either get them in the beginning or you get them at the end. And I haven't decided which I want to do. It might be better to do them at the end of the cruise, the 2 days, because I'm going to be really tired and really sore from all the walking, the traveling, getting on the buses, going on excursions, walking everywhere to get food. So I'm going to be, I'm hoping to have a mobility scooter that I can use on the cruise ship if I can get one. So, so I know I will be tired the last 2 days. So this is where we're thinking. Now, what I'm thinking. But the question is, let me see if I can find the ship. I need to study this ship to see. So it has a section in here, getting to know the Carnival Venezia. So it says it's a long ways to Venice from the United States. But the cruise ship makes you feel like you're being in Italy. It has Italian flavors, bars, drinks. I'm trying to find some pictures. It has some water features like all the other, but it does have some extra restaurants like Amari, which is probably a steakhouse. Onboard dining, of course, that's pretty typical. It does have the Japanese restaurant, the Lido deck, the steakhouse. All those are usually, the steakhouse is extra. So it does have all of those things. It has the Serenity Retreat, which is where Lorelei and I spend most of our time when we're hanging out. We don't like to hang out on the main deck too much. We like to go where the adults go. So it has a spa, it has a Rico bar, some other bar I can't pronounce, table games, gambling, the sports square where you do adult sports, So it has all of that. But what I would like to do is I want to see more pictures of this ship before I decide that I want to go on this ship. So I'm going to pull this up and see if I can look at the inside of the ship. It's not really any more expensive to go on this ship than the other one. It is a little bit smaller, which I like. I'm not a big fan. There's a debate in cruising, not like I'm an expert, about do you like the gigantic cruise ships, the bigger the better, like 5, 6, 7,000 people, or do you like the smaller ones? I really like the smaller ones. I like to go on the river cruises. I would like to go on small. So this one I think holds about 3,500 cruisers. Great size. Let's see. And here it is. It's new to America, the Bahamas. Deck plan staterooms. Let's look at the staterooms because that's what's important. Now, I would tell you, never done a cruise. We should. Craig, you guys got all really good cruises where you're at in Australia, buddy. I know you've seen it in Australia, but if you've never seen Australia, you guys got some really cool cruises. So what I tell people, and this is, my friends that are going, they're first-time cruisers, I'm giving them exact same advice, and they're following it. We're going to go, and we're going to buy, rent, whatever you want to call it. We're going to book ocean view rooms is what we're going to do. That means they got a window, not a balcony, but a window. Don't need a balcony. The whole damn ship's a balcony. If you want to sit out on the balcony, just get your happy ass up and go sit outside. Save the money. But I personally enjoy sunlight very much. When I wake up in the mornings, I want to feel like I have sunlight. So we're going to book those. They come, of course, it's your room, cozy linens, plenty of closets, TV, stateroom control. Now, You might wonder, why do you want a TV? Because you're on a cruise ship. The TV gives you a lot of information about the cruise ship, so it's actually helpful. It does have some TV programs on there, but it gives you. Now, if you book a deluxe ocean view, you get a bathroom and a half, which is really nice. So you actually get a bathtub and a bathroom. So you get like a washing station and a bathroom, or 2 toilets. I can't remember. We've had one. So, but I really want to see some more pictures of this ship. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. So we're going to try to go to past guest photos and look at what the guests like. Well, oh, cool. They got a matching shirt and matching dress. She's got a really big ass, and or her dress is blowing in the wind. I think the dress is blowing in the wind. It looks like a girl here, and boom. So I think her dress is blowing. Well, this picture, some little girl in a cute outfit, don't care about that. So they got some carnival looking stuff I'm trying to see. It's a pretty ship. Man, people are fat. A lot of fat people on these pictures. Well, that's all there was. So the guests didn't put too many on there. The Serenity Spa, where I like to hang out, has really just big lounging areas, and there's a bar up there. So it just has different colors, is what it has. It has a different style of atrium. So since we've been on Carnival Walmart, Carnival Cruise Ships, I think we're going to choose this one just because it's different. Now, we've looked at going on other cruise lines, but since, to be honest, we're gold members and we get a perk, a discount, and we are stock owners and we get a discount, and hey, we're cheap. And so we're going to probably do this one. Let me see, where did it go? I want to make sure how many people it holds. See if it says. Maybe it's... Let's see. Let's get down here and find it. I want to see the layout of the ship, because it should tell me exactly how many is in it. Because that's important to me. Not a bad looking ship, okay? Ooh, nice. It definitely has what Americans and or people that don't live in Italy think Italy would look like. It looks like it has a little bit of a gondola thing. Is that what they call those, the boats that run in the water? Nice, totally different than the Walmart Carnival cruise ship. So I'm happy about that because we get kind of bored of the boring orange color at Carnival. So nice white, some white in this one, so it looks cleaner. The orange on the Carnival cruise ships look dirty. They kind of look dingy. So this one has kind of some flower arrangements, sculptures, a little bit. I like it. I think we could all be very happy booking this Italian cruise ship. So I think we're going to go with this one. Whether you guys like it or not, we're going to choose the Carnival Varenza, I think. Now, let me get in here a little bit. I have this one saved. I have it hearted. Let's see what other I have hearted. Come on. Craig, the internet's getting me. The Boogeyman. Fake marble. Yeah. It's really nice looking. I mean, it looks like what we would think Italy would look like. I don't know if Italy really looks like that because we've never been on Italy. But it is kind of what you would think Italy looks like. Let's see. And maybe they got some different Italian foods on the buffet versus the boring American food. All the Walmart cruise ships, they basically have the same food. It's good food. I usually just eat the cheese, on a cruise ship. I eat cheese and fruit 90% of the time. We do eat the sushi and we go to the fancy dining rooms. But for breakfast and lunch on the cruise ship, I usually just eat fruit and cheese for some reason. And that works pretty good. Come on. See, Craig, since I watched your video on YouTube, having problems over here. Find it. I would like to leave out a Miami preferably, but maybe not. Because one of the debates about cruising is, should you fly in the day of your cruise, take that chance that you're going to get there, or fly in the night before? So we were lucky enough, we've done it both ways. We flew into Miami and got our cruise. We've showed up in Galveston the day before, stayed the night, and got on the cruise. We've done it both ways. The experts always tell you, you come in the day before. Yeah, I agree. You got to take a stand against the trolls sometimes. Enough is enough. Are you getting a lot of trolls on your channel, Craig? Do you guys get a lot of trolls? I only get a few here and there, Craig, to be honest. Why? I don't know. Maybe because nobody watches me. So I usually only get a few. Maybe I'm scary looking. I mean, you guys look like nice people. Maybe they think I'm fat and ugly and scary looking. So I don't know why I don't get very many. I really don't. But I agree. Sometimes you got to smack them down. So was your video in reference to trolls, or was your video just frustration that people like you and I go through on a regular basis when it comes to being married to a Filipino? So the other trip we can go on is we got to go to Orlando. So either way, we're flying to Orlando apparently. But this one goes to Grand Turk, San Juan, and St. Thomas, and we come back. It's a 7-day back to Port Canaveral. Sick of the lies and scammers. Their supporters fight back. Yes. We are too. We've kind of washed our hands, Craig, of certain people in the Philippines. Some of the expats, for sure. Her sister has treated Lorelai's bad the last couple of years, to where she can't even talk to her nieces and nephews because of money. You know how it is, right? So there is a point in time, we were kind enough that when her sister came to America to be a teacher, we gave her money, bought her food, got her set up, helped her get set up. Didn't do it all, but helped her. And we also got her a phone and put her on our plan. I want to say I'm very happy and very lucky that we got rid of all of that. She's done. We have no business dealings with her now anymore. She only has one more year of teaching in America unless they extend it. And they're living like they're kings now. So, Craig, let me ask you this. between you and I and the 255,000 people watching, because you know how popular you and I are, which are worse, the Filipinos or the expats? That's my question. I should do a live stream on that, right? Or maybe we should do a live stream together. Maybe we should do a video where we talk about who is worse. We debate it, right, Craig? You and I. We can have a conversation back and forth talking about which is worse and why. So maybe that's a good topic. Which is worse, the expats or the Filipinos? And we have both. We have Filipinos and expats in our world. So I don't know. So this one leaves spring. Okay, the days are fine. How many days is 7-day cruise out of Orlando? The ship actually, nice, okay. So is this a different ship? Yes, no, same ship. Okay, same ship. Same ship. So we go out of Port Canaveral, Florida, Orlando, Florida, and I am very familiar with it. No port today, day two. The day one, you leave at 3:30 and you're on the water. Day two, you're on the water all day. Day three, you land in the Grand Turk. The islands, the Grand Turks, and the Caicos Islands. Maybe small, but it's packed with scenic punch, it says. Then you get to go to San Juan, Puerto Rico, which we don't really care about Puerto Rico, but it's one of the places it stops. We'd rather go to Jamaica, but, you know, I can't find one going to Jamaica that's going to work. Lorelei would like to go to Jamaica. Then we go to the St. Thomas Islands, take pictures, and then once again, we have 2 days on the ocean. And then we're back at 8 a.m. on the 8th day. So I got to save both of these. I got to figure out how to, maybe I can save the link. What do you guys think? You think if I copy the link, is that the way you could do this? Let me see. Copy image link. I don't want to copy the image link. I want to copy the whole thing. Wash, repeat, scam after scam. 6 years ago, it was stage 3 brain cancer. Still alive. The piggery, milk fishing, shrimp. Oh, I know. We hear them all too. The solar, now the restaurant, enough is enough. Some expats, yes. Well, we did that. We've been there, done that, and I think you're probably a better person than me, Craig, because we gave them a multi-cab so that he could run a delivery business. We bought it, paid for it. Supposed to run a delivery business to make money. Never happened. Never delivered a damn thing. You know, so there was $3,500 down the drain or $4,000 down the drain. So I can relate. We had them, you know, the good thing was, I guess I'm a butthead. I was going to use a bad word, but we're already in trouble on the internet, right, Craig? So we've had them come to us with the piggery bullshit, and I've said no. We've had them come with, hey, why don't you buy a pig and send us the money, we'll raise it, blah, 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 bullshit. We've had them come up with scooter accidents, I'm in trouble with the law accidents type of crap. Okay. You know, we need new tires for the multi-cab. Well, I don't know what to tell you. We need a new battery and it's, you know, $100. Well, you know, so. But don't get me wrong, we have dumped, Craig, my God, $20,000 American over the years until we finally got fed up and said enough is enough. Paying for the children's this, paying for that. We don't have enough money for rent. We need a washing machine. We need a microwave. We need. So I tallied it up a couple years ago and showed Lorelei. I said, we're about 20 grand in. We don't need to do this anymore. So about 20 grand in. And you're probably way deeper than we are. Is it for you, you know, and Lorelei has friends. Yes. Oh, are you thinking of the Brit in the Philippines? That guy, what is his name? With the Ford truck that they bought? I can't remember his name. Old guy with the young girl. He was, I think, British or Australian, but he lived in America. I can't remember his name. This is a YT channel failing at everything, but can afford a brand new Ford. Yeah, I'm with you. It's is it a Philippines? Is that his name? I can't remember his name. Oh, Boss Hog. Yeah, that guy's a scammer. Boss Hog's a scammer. He is. I agree, Craig. And it's kind of like reminds me of Jack. You know, Jack. What Jack does, and you know this because you know Jack. He just moves to one person to another person, meets them, befriends them, and says, "Hey, by the way, my mom won't give me any more money. The bitch owes me $1,000 a month, and she never gives it to me. You know, blah blah blah." And, you know, I was promised all of this and I'm forced to live here and I'm stuck. I'm illegal in the Philippines, which he probably is. Can you send me 20 bucks? Can you send me 50 bucks? Can you give me 100 bucks? So, but I know what you mean, Greg. So, you're right. And I don't know why people buy into it. I don't know why people support those. I don't understand it. I don't know why they. Now, look, I understand the psychology between why some dude, you know, Johnny is trying to give money to Miss Little Filipina because he thinks he's going to get to see her boobies and he might get to hook up with her when he goes, you know, over there. So a lot of these girls are shaking their tits in hopes of getting money. And I get it. The guy is paying it and he's stupid because he thinks he's going to get something. He's not. Yep, got me 1 cent for food and spend it on, yes, on grog. I know. Yeah, Jack's done that to me too. You know, I sent him money in the early days to help him out. He bought Red Horse. There was a time on one of the live streams, I don't know if you remember this, Craig. You may have been on this live stream years ago, not years ago, but a while back, quite a while back, where I think it was on StreamYard. You may have been on there, where somebody sent him, like maybe Ronald sent him $10 or $20, and he's on the and we're all on the live stream on the panel, right? And as soon as it comes through, he drops the live stream, leaves it running, and runs out and gets liquor. You know, you know what I mean? Remember that? I don't know if you remember seeing that, but he had to go get some booze. You know, I don't know. It is frustrating and disappointing in expats. Now, look, we would love to make money on our channel, to be honest, Craig. We'd like to have 10,000 subscribers, 100,000 subscribers. We'd like to be able to make money on YouTube. We really, really, really would. And I know you've given us money to help poor people out in the Philippines, along with a bunch of other subscribers. And we are extremely appreciative of that, as you guys all know. And you know that that money goes for a good cause because we prove it. We have a lot of personal needs, but we don't really ask for needs. I ask for the $5 million. And I do that, Craig, and maybe you've heard me say this, but I do that because one, maybe Mr. Beast would give me $5 million or Donald Trump or somebody. Hell, maybe I'll get lucky. Wish I'd seen it. Would you save my 200? Yeah. I know. And we can't afford anymore, Craig, to help other people out. We need to. That sounds bad. I can't afford, and I won't waste our money down a rat hole, pounding it down. I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm not going to do that. So, but I kind of jokingly talk about the $5 million. Now, yes, I would really like it if somebody gave me a $5 million. But I equate it to YouTube. To me, it's like all these people, Jack, this other guy, all these other people, the Filipinos going, hey, I know that you have more money than me, and forget the fact that you earned your own money, that you worked hard for your own money, you've managed your own money and didn't make screw up mistakes like I did. But hey, yes, I chose to live here and chose to live this way. I chose my fate, my behavior that's led me down this road. But I know since you have more money than me, you should just give me your money. It's okay if you give me the money. Go ahead. You have it. I want it because of my bad choices, so please give it to me. And that's what I do about the $5 million. Sure, be happy if Mr. Beast came on and said, hey, here's $5 million. The government would like it because they'd get a huge amount of taxes. That would be great. But that's how I look at that is, hey, Mr. Beast, I know you worked for all your money and I'm in my situation because of mine, but you should just give me $5 million. American Roadrunner says, hey, hello, buddy. How you doing? I'm doing good, man. We're just hanging out, talking about cruises, the Philippines, Australia. We're being spied on by the government. We don't know which one or somebody. We can tell we're being spied on today, American Roadrunner. But thank you for coming in. Thanks for the thumbs up while you're there. We are working on booking a cruise, and so I'm working on that today while I sit in my office. So, and we're talking about helping people out financially that are not grateful for our money because we all have worked hard for our own personal money, right? And I got in this conversation the other day, and I did. And this exact conversation. And somebody was telling me that since I have more than other people, it's my moral obligation to give mine to others. And I told him no. And I explained why should I morally have to give my money to somebody else just because I have it and they don't? And they were dead serious about this. American says, no, it isn't. Yeah, it's not. It's not. But they were trying to make this argument that we, as people that have more than somebody else, should help level the playing field, so to speak. And I told him, I said, but that's not fair, and that's not the way life is. Because why am I doing, now look, we're not rich, so don't get me wrong, but I'm gonna just say it like this. And we don't live high on the hog or anything like that. But why should I give away what I've earned to somebody else that made different choices than I did? Now, some people made other choices than I did, and they're living high on the hog. And that's great for them. I'm not expecting them to level the playing field for me to get me up here with them. But I told this person, because I was really irritated, I said, well, why I have, because they're like, well, why do you have so much? Why do you, and because they don't have as part of the problem. And I told him, I said, because I made the choice not to be a smoker, not to be a big drinker, not to get into drugs, not to get DWIs. I chose, and this is no offense to anybody that has kids, but I chose not to have children. I made certain decisions that led me to where I'm at. That's why I'm in the situation I'm in. You can bless people who deserve to help. I agree. You can't help anybody. Yeah, I agree. If you want to, but never have to. I agree. I agree with that. I only help people that are helping themselves. I believe in that philosophy. If you want help, I will give you a hand up, but I will not give you a hand out. So, but I told this person, I said, but you got to understand, I chose not to drive drunk. I chose not to do bad things that got me in trouble. I chose not to have kids so I didn't have to pay child support all my life. I chose financial decisions that got me where I'm at. Now, I'm nowhere, but the person that has less than me, they made their choices. They made decisions. And it doesn't have a damn thing to do with me. You like that, American Roadrunner? So that's kind of where that was really interesting because they wanted me to give them money. And one, I don't have money to give them, and two, I wouldn't do it anyway. So we got into that discussion the other day, and it wasn't a very pleasant discussion. And they thought I should give money to their family, I think is what she was saying. Not my wife. My wife's the one who says, you ain't getting our money. So I don't remember who it was or what they wanted it for. But I just flatly told them, I said, I'm not the one who got in trouble. I'm not the one that knocked up people. I'm not the one that did this. I'm not the one that did that. I'm the one who went to school, studied hard, got a better job, worked my ass off doing 2 and 3 jobs. I'm the one who did all the things that I was supposed to do so I can try to have a little bit of the American dream, just a little bit. Mr. Beast and other people, Donald, all these other rich people, I got friends that literally have millions upon millions of dollars in their investments, millions. That's not my money. That's their money. Now, they want to give me some? Well, maybe. But that's not the thing. They've earned that. You've earned that money. And we shouldn't be shamed or guilted into giving people money that we've made sacrifices to get. We shouldn't. And even if you tomorrow, you walked into a gas station, bought a lottery ticket, and won $10 million, that's still your money. Just because you have the $10 million and you won it, luckily, doesn't mean it's somebody else's. I don't have much, but what I have, let me read here. I don't have much, but what I have is all ours. We are the ones who made sacrifices to get where we are. I agree. I mean, that's it. And if I get lucky and win $10 million, it's still my money. I will choose what to do with it, So I get really frustrated with that too, Craig. And I'm tired of, and maybe I whine about money too much. I don't know. I talk about money a lot on the internet. I really do. And I know that. I talk about money. I talk about how much things cost. Because I want people to know how much things cost. I think it's important for people to understand what people go through. It's like, I got to buy a mobility scooter, another one. I'll get it bought. I'll buy it. I'll get it there. Now, mine's not dead yet, so I'm putting it off as long as I can. I don't want to buy a new mobility scooter until mine is absolutely dead. Even though mine is on its last leg and all beat up and not very good anyway, I'm going to run that sucker into the ground. I'm going to run it in the ground so far and so hard, and then I will break down and buy another one. And I will buy another one. But I'm going to do a video about mobility scooters, how much they cost, what you should do, how you should buy one, best way to select them. So that's partly why I talk about those a lot. But Craig, it's your money. You keep it, you do what you want with it, and don't let anybody tell you any difference. And a lot of these BS expats in America and in the Philippines, they don't deserve our money. They don't deserve our respect, and maybe I don't deserve respect or money, and I'm okay with that because I'm not asking. But it gets tiring. That's why I don't watch a lot of the expat channels, to be honest, because for the most part, it's whining and complaining. And I feel bad. And look, we can go down this rabbit hole where I tell you, I lived in the Philippines and it was horrible for us. Now we did it all wrong, so that was my fault. And I'm not saying living in the Philippines is horrible. I'm just saying it was horrible for us because of certain things that went into place and mistakes we made. All right, not a big deal. Lesson learned. But you get a lot of these people that go there thinking they're going to make money. They think they're going to get on the internet, a YouTube channel, start a YouTube channel, and then all of a sudden they're going to become popular and they're going to be making money, right? Hey, look, I'm in the Philippines. I'm a blogger. I'm an international blogger. Look at me. Hey. And maybe they make a little money. Now maybe they decide, hey, I got a YouTube channel going in the Philippines, and if I show off some girls If I exploit the locals, then I can make some money from all the idiot men that want to come here. And I can give them all this advice. I can charge them for this advice at times. And I believe in free enterprise. Meaning, if you can have a business and make some money, and partly why is I did private consulting work for years. I had my own private consulting business. I was an environmental expert. Now I'm just a guy. I had certain set of skills that others did not. And I could charge a lot of money for them. And I did. And all that was providing people with information. One born every day. Yes, I agree. I agree. So, the sad thing, Craig and everybody, is there's new people that want to get into the Filipino market or community every time. Every week, you get new people go, hey, I want to kind of be a part of the community. What's going on in the Philippines? What about women? They now just started thinking, hey, maybe I'm 45 and I'm 42 and I'm sick and tired of American women or German women. And I think it's time for me to think about a Filipina, which is great because they want to join the community. A lot of times they get snookered. Is it snookered or snookered? I think it's snookered. They get taken. They get lied to or manipulated. Oh my God, friend, the Philippines is great. It's wonderful. Look at all these women you can have. Man, you can come and stay at my house. When you come here, I'll pick you up at the airport. Man, look, I'll show you around. You and I, blah, 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 blah. And they wind up feeding somebody money, some chick or some expat, and they lose their money. I don't know. So I encourage, as you know, everybody, for people not to send money, not to waste their money. And I tell people no matter what, if it's a girl or an expat, it doesn't matter. If they start talking about money, run. Because we get a lot of expats on here. Like you said earlier, oh, woe is me, woe is me, woe is me, woe is me. My trike broke down and I don't get my disability pension for another month. Craig, American Ronan says, yes, sir, every day there's one born. Sorry, I'm eating a pretzel. Have you guys ever had these? Oh, here. Here. You see these? These are some of the best pretzels in the whole entire world. And I mean that. These are the greatest pretzels in the whole world. Dot's Homestyle Pretzels. James Robinson turned me on to these one time. He sent me some from California, man. They got a little bit of a spice to them, a little bit of kick. But man, they are good. So, and I don't like for people to be taken advantage of. I try not to take advantage of people. I try to learn from people. I try to caution people. But as we know, everybody, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. So if they don't want to truly believe what you're putting down, what you're saying, then shame on them, right? Shame on the people for doing it, but shame on them, And two wrongs don't make a right in this case. But we won't be doing anything like that anymore. We're too old. We've done it too much. We need to use our finances for ourselves. Craig says you got to meet him in person, the Filipina. Spend time with her and her family. See how the family is respected in the community. Can't maintain their lives there. A good starting point. I agree. You got to kind of call their bluff. How do you do that? You meet them, you stay with them, you visit with them, you open your ears. All right. You open your ears, open your eyes, and control your penis. Because this may get us banned off the internet. But look, women are smart. They know, the old saying used to be, how do you get to a man's heart? Through its belly, right? Remember that? I heard that growing up. To win a man's heart, you got to win his belly, meaning giving him really good food. That's not true. That's not true. How do you get a man to fall in love with you? You boys and girls out there know how that works. If the girl is smart, she knows what to do, if you know what I mean. So, you got to separate that part of this and look at her behavior, the family behavior, how they're respected. I agree with you, Craig, in their community. What's going on in and around them? And how do they assimilate into their own community? Are they scammers? Are they good people? Are they barely making it, but they're making it on their own? What's the situation on the ground? More than ever now, they know the value more of 20 and 30 years. Yeah, the girls know the value of that. They've learned how to use it from watching YouTube, from watching the internet. They have figured all of this out. And a lot of guys go over there. And to be honest, Craig, this is maybe a little adult. A lot of guys I've talked to over the years have gone over there, and when the girl, not maybe the girl they went to, but a girl at some point in time who finally rocked their boat, so to speak, wins. I've known a lot of guys that have gone over there and dated different girls, had sex with different girls. And the one they settle on is the one that rocked their boat the most. Now, she could be a horrible person, but he's not thinking with that head, right? And that's the problem. That's why I tell guys, you got to slow down and see the big picture, because, that doesn't last forever. And if she's doing it for you, for that purpose, well, she'd do it for the next American or German or Australian that comes by, right? When she gets to America, maybe she'll trade up on you, right? So I think it is something to watch and to be aware of. Women are smarter than we think. We're dumber than we think, if we think. So I try to explain that. A lot of them don't care. I don't care. And if that's what they want, that makes them happy, it's okay. Craig says, it took me 12 years of spending 4 months a year there and around 700 to find the one for me. Take your time. I agree. Yep. Or not. That's right. And, on the opposite side of that, Craig, for Lorelai and I, she's definitely the right one. And it was, I told you over the years since I've been around this community since I was, 16? It's 18. I had the opportunity to go to the Philippines many times, many different women. And I always said no. But when I met Lorelai online on Facebook, the whole world changed. And I knew that. We knew it within a few months of going back and forth, talking on the phone every day, video chatting every day. We knew it. I mean, no denying it. So sometimes you get lucky and it's easy, and sometimes you got to put the work in. Either way works as long as you're successful. I've known a lot of guys that have gone back and forth and done the same thing, Craig. And I think that pays off. I really do. And I think it's the same way, even in your own country, wherever you're from. If you're dating women from your own country, take your time. There is absolutely no reason to jump into something immediately. Why? I see people all the, young people are really bad about this. Young people meet a girl or a guy and go, oh my God, we get to have all kinds of crazy sex. Let's get married. Well, they're divorced in 5, 6 years. In the Philippines, that means you're screwed. If you get married in the Philippines young, you're not going to get unmarried. We know plenty of single girls that are married that are stuck, so to speak. I will tell you this, Craig. From first time in my life, I met a girl that was at our party who's actually only 21, Filipina. I didn't get a chance to find out how she's here in America. I don't know how she's here. She's single, 21, and she'd like to date. She's not having any luck dating. And in her age bracket, she would like to date somebody 30 or under. Because she's 21. And I've been looking for somebody for her to introduce. But she's the youngest non-born Filipina who came here as an adult that I've ever met. I don't know how she got here. Craig says, I got it down to 8 women. Woohoo! Then told them all. And Ian told me I shouldn't choose her because she was not beautiful and not that healthy. I deserved someone better. Totally honest, clinched the deal for me. There you go. Oh, not Ian, Lan, sorry. I was thinking of the other, I got you. Yeah, my wife kind of did the same. She told me, she's like, I'm kind of mean. And I'm like, yeah, I know. I'm kind of bossy. Yeah, I know. So I'm with you, totally honest. Lorelai was from the beginning. She told me all of her secrets. You guys may have heard the story that her family here in America, because she has cousins and stuff here, that's how we met. One of the cousins, met us or put us together on Facebook. Well, when they realized that I was going to bring Lorelai here, that we were doing the K1, well, they got jealous and didn't like it. And they wanted to tell me all of her horrible secrets. I already knew them all. So here they are ratting her out on Facebook, trying to me, messaging me saying, hey, did you know blah, blah, blah about her? Because partly they wanted me to give them money and I wouldn't do it. So her cousins and stuff thought I should pay them because they introduced me to Lorelai, is what they thought. Kind of crazy. And of course I said no to the money thing, not gonna happen. And when they wanted to tear her down, I told them all, I said, I already know everything and I don't really care. So I don't know what your point in this is. And then they kind of shut up. So, but Lorelai was the same way, very honest in the beginning, and I think that's the key way to be. So, but I'm with you, Greg. I am. I agree with you. I tell people now, all the time, you got to fish in your own pond. If you're smart, you'll get one that belongs in your pond. If you want to be happy, you get one that swims in your own damn pond. Beauty on the outside is not what we should focus on. I mean, it is, but it's not. It should not be the deciding factor. A lot of men don't understand that. I would rather be with somebody who's a really good person, who I can trust. And look, we're not in a gigantic Filipino community, but I've been around it forever, and I know, that getting one to trust, there are the outliers are the ones that you cannot trust. Yep, just use your brain, work it out. The more experience you have, the more you know, right? And I would rather have somebody who's truly going to be a good wife versus somebody that's hot and sexy in a bathing suit, you know. But Craig, you and I are smarter people than the average bear. So we're smarter than the average kangaroo. So, and I don't know how smart kangaroos are, but we got to remember a lot of guys think with the wrong brain, the wrong head, as we say. And we see that, and that's their own fault. And if they get burnt, well, they get burnt. They'll learn a lesson the hard way. And I talk to a lot of guys that are interested in Filipinas, and I have this talk with them, and then they go on and don't listen to a thing I said. 50-50 chance, but above 30% here. Yeah, right. I agree. I know what you mean. I see, and I look around here in our community, and I'm going to say, of all the women, couples, Filipino American couples I've known and met, I'm going to go out on a limb and say 30%, maybe 25% get a divorce. I'm going to say that. I'm going to say 75% of all the couples I've known over the years have stayed together until they die. And I think that's a pretty good ratio. I think in America, American couples are about 30%, stay together. So I think that's a pretty good odd. And we all know why, because of family values and a different perspective and the appreciation. Because I know Lorelai forgets sometimes what it was really like for her in the Philippines, 10, 15 years ago. And I know she forgets that sometimes, that we have it pretty good. And, I think she recognizes that and understands that. But I do think sometimes she forgets that things can be a hell of a lot worse in the Philippines than here. No matter all the drama, all the BS, all the struggles that we have to go through in the United States, it could have been her life without you and or I or the other husbands that are good. Their life would not have been the same, without question. If they would have stayed in the Philippines, their lives would not have been the same. And I would venture to say nowhere near as good as they have it in their other countries. American Ronan says, me and my wife have been together 25 years now. Not all good years, but we came together and worked it out. It takes two to tango. It does. And Lorelai and I have not had all good years. I was in a coma, and I've had brain issues and psychological issues, and I got a squishy brain, and we had family issues on both sides of the coin. So we've had our struggles. I think we're doing pretty good now. Craig said, same here, and a lot who split had a 30 to, yeah, exactly. What I try to tell these guys, who are 60 years old, go and pick up this 30-year-old girl. Well, she's going to kick your ass to the curb. And I'll tell you a story. And this is a real life story. Before I met Lorelai, I lived in a house that had a swimming pool, really nice house. I was single, making a lot of money. Had a nice house. And since I knew the community, I had Filipinos at my house all the time, Filipinos, and their husbands. My best friend was Korean, married to Filipina. And so we had parties all the time. And this is the honest to God truth. And Lorelai knows this, and Lorelai's still pissed about this. When Lorelai and I met up on Facebook and started to get talking a lot, right, and started to go down that road, my friend's wife, who's Filipina, said, well, I didn't know you really wanted a Filipina girlfriend. She's like, if you want a Filipina, get rid of Lorelai, and you can date Kathy. Kathy wants to get rid of her old husband. Kathy was probably 30 years old, and her husband was in the 70s. And they flatly said, well, Kathy will get rid of her husband and come live with you and be your wife right now. You know, and I'm like, I told her, I said, one, I actually like Lorelai. And this, you know, and I told her, I said, but two, I've never spoke to Kathy. And why would I ever want to date somebody that would trade up or down for their husband? You know, why? Why would I ever, because she would do that to me. Honest to God, true. She was brokering for Kathy to divorce her, you know, get rid of her 70-year-old husband. And later she did. She found somebody else. She got rid of her 70-year-old husband and went with some other guy. She did. She was shopping around for a new husband. Swear to God, the honest God truth. And her friend was trying to broker a deal where I would meet Kathy and start having Kathy come live with me, and she would become my wife and divorce her old husband. And I mean that. I think it was within the next couple of years, she did that. She got rid of the 7-year-old for a 50-year-old. So, not good. Not good. Not good. Not good at all. So, you just got to be careful. All right, my friends, I think it's 6:30. I came on here just to kind of do a pop-up live stream during the day. So I'm going to get off of here and have some dinner because I'm eating pretzels. I probably ought to eat some food. And I still need to get some things done tonight. But I want to thank everybody for coming in. Appreciate everybody. I hope everybody stays healthy, wealthy, and wise. And if you need anything from us, you know how to get a hold of us. And from my side of the world and my beautiful tropical shirt, we will see everybody later on. Look for me this weekend. We're going to do a live stream out at the lake with the Filipina party. Maybe they'll all be wearing bathing suits. I don't know. Some clickbait, Craig, right? I got to get the clickbait out there. So we're going to do a live stream this weekend, Saturday afternoon, 4-ish. It's around this time. So, all right, everybody, appreciate you. Take care. American Roadrunner, as always, good to see you again, buddy. And check in and we'll talk again.